What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal today, man. Hope you guys have had a great New Year's Day and had a great New Year's night. Hope you guys are ready for Sunday's slate, Week 17 NFL action. I hope you guys are ready for what is, for a majority of you guys, the Fantasy Championship, Week 17. The 2022 fantasy football season is going to really start wrapping up today. It's crazy. It's been a phenomenal season. It's been a great year for the channel. It's been a great year for the community. I just really want to say thank you guys so much for all the support this season, all the support this past year. I was looking at the analytics from this past year, which I've done a good job of not really looking at too closely throughout the season like I did last year, and it was a great year, and we just gained so many members of this community and just grew so much, and we had a great year as a community and as fantasy managers. You guys killed it this year, and we made a lot of good calls. We made some wrong calls, don't get me wrong, but overall I feel pretty good about the advice we gave this year, and it was just a great year, man. I'm really thankful for you guys. Love this community. Love you guys, man. And Happy New Year's to you guys. So, Week 17, the season has come. It's almost gone. We'll be making content through Week 18. And then, because some of you guys do play through Week 18. And we've got plenty planned for like the NFL playoffs leading up to the Super Bowl and right after the Super Bowl for the channel. Before we take a little bit of a break and then the off-season schedule begins. We have plenty planned for the off-season as well. So, with that being said, you guys know what time it is, baby. Time for some live Week 17 fantasy Q&A. Hop in the live chat. Let me know what you guys need. Start sits, ads, drops, injury updates, weather updates, roster confidence, roster non-confidence, last minute ads, whatever it may be. Let me know. Hop in the live chat. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's get it popping. Final Sunday for a lot of you guys out there. Can't believe it. All right, Jerry Jeudy is active today versus the Chiefs. Julio Jones is active against the Panthers. Tua still day-to-day. Jalen Hurts will not play as expected. Christian Watson is hopeful. Or the Packers are hopeful. Christian Watson can play against the Vikings, as are many of us for our fantasy rosters. If he does not play, obviously, Allen Lazard and Romeo Doubs get a huge bump. Trevor Lawrence expected to play. I've also read that the Jaguars are not planning on sitting any starters. Tyler Lockett expected to play. And, Marshawn Lattimore going to line up today against Mike Evans. He's expected to be good to go. Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, both listed as questionable. Both expected to play. Chase Claypool expected to play. Tyler Higbee will play. So, yeah, there's some updates. We know DeAndre Hopkins is out. We know Debo is out if you picked him up. Oh, wow, Greg Dulcich is out for the season, placed on IR. That was 2 days ago. I didn't even see that. So, yeah, there's some updates for you guys. Nothing crazy that we didn't know about. All right, I'm going to hop right into the live chat, see what's up with you guys. Elliot, what's up, man? Happy New Year's Eve to you. I got to start one in RB and one in the flex. Knight, Stevenson, Adams, Chark. Oh, yeah. On a normal week, this would be really easy, but I think you go Ramondre personally. I think Ramondre will bounce back. I think he'll be okay today. So I stick with Ramondre Stevenson. The other player is tough. You could go Adams. It's going to be a game script where the Raiders are going to have to throw. I just don't know what Stidham's going to be able to do with him, man. I mean, it can't be really any worse than it's been the last 2 weeks. I mean, obviously, I'm really worried about Adams. I don't love him this week. But a lot of you guys made it through the last 2 or 3 weeks where he had 10 or less fantasy points, 6.8 or less in his last 2. I mean, San Francisco is allowing like the 6th most fantasy points to opposing receivers. How do you feel about going Adams? If you don't go Adams, I think you go Chark. Knight is interesting too, but he's been really tough to trust. Ooh, Elliott, that is tough. I have Knight and Charkin right now. I have Goff at quarterback. I think that's okay. That's a tough one. Chat, what do you think? Knight, Chark, Adams, Stevenson. Tough, tough. As Elliot says, nauseating calls. J-Dubs, what's up, bro? J-Dubs, Myers or Chark? Interesting, because both these teams should be in good game scripts. Both these teams need to win today. I kind of like Myers, actually. But I think Chark is just fine against the Bears. The Bears are, like, allowing the 10th fewest fantasy points opposing receivers, believe it or not. But I think Chark's a pretty safe start in a must-win game for the Lions. And I think Myers is pretty safe as long as it's full PPR. Myers coming off of his third best fantasy performance of the season. I think the big thing with Myers here at the end of the year, with the Patriots still in the playoff bubble, Myers also going in, it's a contract year. He probably won't get re-signed by the Patriots because they're the Patriots, but, he's playing to prove who he is to other teams, so he could have a big day too. Who do you like more? Elliot, I love Chark's production last 2 weeks on the road. Tough to get away from him right now. Yeah. Like I said, I do like Chark. Do you think Chark is an option for you guys? Those are like... those calls right there, Elliot, are tough, man. That one's making me nervous. What's up, Godfather? Happy New Year's to you, man. Good luck to you today. Minshew or Mike White? I like both. Both are great streaming options. Both are going to be in game scripts where each team going to be doing whatever they can to win. I might give the advantage to Mike White. It's so close. I think Minshew comes out with at least 18 points, and I think Mike White might have a little bit of a higher ceiling. Both decent defenses in the Saints and Seahawks in terms of matchups. But I think these are going to be two game scripts where defenses bend. So, theoretically, Minshew has more weapons around him, but it's close because they both have pretty good defenses around them, too. And they're both facing, good defenses, too. Both must-win games. It's a tough call. I could see the game script being positive for both these guys, though. I just feel like you could get into a scenario where the Eagles could end up running the football, where with the Jets, I feel like it's going to be a little bit pass heavy. You know what I mean? It's super close. Super, super close. Sutton or Cooks? I go Sutton. I go Sutton for sure. Just a super, super, super safe floor. Take it and run. Ramondre or Kenneth Walker? J-Dubs, I'm fine with Ramondre, even with Damian Harris out there. It doesn't necessarily bother me. There's been plenty of games this year where Damian Harris has been out there and it hasn't impacted Stevenson. He's your RB8 on the season. I think you can stick with Ramondre. I don't have any issue with him. But a standard league, I'm probably looking at Foreman here. But it is close because it is a tough matchup. But, in standard, you get a little bit worried about the potential to, if the player doesn't score, then you're kind of in a bad position. So if you don't think Juju's going to score, then you could be in a bad position at the end of the day. So last time Juju played against the Broncos, he played pretty well. Foreman is a little bit of a tough matchup. That's a tough call. I would probably take a chance on Foreman, though. Yeah. Ramondre's question mark for me went off 2 weeks ago in a dud last week. Yeah, last week was really bad. I know some of you guys are worried about that fumble and everything. And, basically cost the Patriots a game. Bill Belichick is a scary guy. That's fair. So if you have options like Kenneth Walker, for example, I think that's fine to go with Walker over him. But I really think Ramondre... probably helped get you to this point. He's probably a player you have put some faith in this week, Ramondre decision this week is so tough. Matchup is sweet, but things have been rough lately. Yeah. Let's see. Jonesy, Happy New Year's to you. What's up, man? Godfather likes Myers over Chark. That's fine. Olave or Mike Evans. I do have a sneaky feeling Mike Evans is going to like pop off in the fantasy championship. The Panthers are kind of banged up overall at the end of the day. J.C. Horn's out, so their secondary is kind of banged up. It's a must-win game for both teams. But I probably still go Olave. I mean, I think the risk and the upside is probably with Mike Evans, but he's just been playing so poorly lately. Olave does have a bit of a tough matchup today, but the volume should be fine. Full PPR. I go Freiermuth over Njoku for sure. Jonesy, pick one running back, half point PPR, Knight, Chuba, Mostert, Moss, Cook. I would take the chance on Bam Knight here. Yeah, I go with Knight. AJ Dillon or Zay Jones. Dillon's the floor play. I think Dillon's a really safe start. Jones is the risk play that brings upside. So personally, I probably play AJ Dillon here. I don't know that the Jags are going to have that type of game out of Zay Jones going up against the Texans today. I think this is more of a defense and run the football day for the Jags. Try not to overwork Trevor Lawrence before a really important matchup next week where they're going to be able to toss the football however and whenever they want against an awful Titans secondary. Brent, I flip back and forth. Should I play Adams over Algier and Akers? Got a bad feeling about Adams. I think something that's really important to do when it comes to calls that are so close, fantasy championship week, is to make sure you're trusting your own conviction and just trust your gut at the end of the day. Because you can't really be upset if you do that. My thought is that Adams could have a pretty decent day, but the upside's got to be capped. You got Stidham at quarterback. So, kind of the two factors. The Niners defense is going to play very well today. But they do give up a fair amount of points, the 6th most points to opposing receivers from a fantasy perspective. There's going to be a point in this game, in my opinion, where the Niners are up, probably pretty late in the game, second half of the game, and all the Raiders can do is really throw the football. Adams is naturally going to be involved, So if it's full PPR, I still think Adams actually has an okay day. But if you don't feel good about it, I think the upside lies with Algier and Akers. But, another thing I think is important to do is to trust players that got you to this point. But Adams is in a really unique situation where it's not as easy to just be like, yeah, you got to play Adams because he got you this far. It's like, he's got Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. And the Niners are going to limit the Raiders' ability to be on the field offensively between their pass rush and their ability to stop the run. And at the end of the day, their ability to still cause turnovers through the air because that's just what they do. So. All right, let's see. I think San Fran is shadow safety on Adams stacks the box versus run. See if Stidham can figure it out. Starting Adams today, feel like the definition of insanity. Yeah. And like I said, if you guys don't feel good about it, don't do it. I don't think it's a high ceiling play. But I just wouldn't get too crazy and start players that haven't ultimately been too productive on the year. There's still certain scenarios where you consider Adams and maybe consider Jacobs. Jacobs, you're just crossing your fingers for that touchdown, right? Kyle, Jacobs or Hollywood Brown? I just don't like Hollywood today. I don't like Jacobs, but I will go Jacobs here. I really don't have faith in Hollywood. He hasn't had success with quarterbacks that aren't Kyler Murray. I know Hopkins is out. I know they get a good matchup, but you got David Blau out there. That's one that, just talking about arguing for Adams, the same logic could apply here. The Falcons have not played too well against opposing receivers, but A.J. Terrell is still their corner number one. He'll line up on Hollywood. He's a great corner. Is it weird that I feel better about Stidham throwing the football than David Blau? Uh, and, you know, no offense to Hollywood, but Devontae Adams and Hollywood Brown are two very different receivers. So. Thomas, Happy New Year, bro. Let's go Hawks. Let me know what you need, bro. Good to have you. Cash Stylist, what's up? McLaurin or Cooks? I go McLaurin for sure. Have Kirk on the bench because I'm starting Ingram. I like McLaurin. Yeah, I think McLaurin will be okay. Very safe floor. Godfather, I don't like Jacob's matchup at all. Hollywood is sneaky. Yeah, and that's a tough call between those two. I could see either player at the end of the day outscoring each other, but I just... Oh, it's just tough. Tough. I might just cross my fingers that at some point in the game Jacob stumbles into the end zone, you know? Like I said, I don't love A.J. Terrell up on Hollywood. But I think both are in bad positions and both could easily outscore each other, you know? Brendan, good morning. Should I start Garrett Wilson and McKinnon or McKinnon and Akers? It's close. I think McKinnon and Wilson are fine. I think Akers is okay here, too. I mean, you know, Wilson, due to volume, if it's full PPR, I think he's okay. He does have a tough matchup, though. The Hawks have played well against opposing wide receiver ones. You know, Tariq Woolen's a great young corner. It's gonna be a good matchup between the two. But I think it's also a pass-heavy game. I think it's an okay start. I'd probably stick with McKinnon. The Chiefs are trying to get that #1 seed. He's been balling. But Akers, I still think is fine. Chargers' run defense has been bad, but I'd probably go Wilson, McKinnon. I'm not out on Akers, though. Darnold or Wentz for Superflex? Darnold. But close. What's up, Chase? In the ship, let's go. You know what that means, Chase? Make sure you go Wentz, because I said Darnold. Play Dortch over Gabe Davis or Pittman. Oh, gosh. Dortch does play well. I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about him with backup quarterbacks. It's a good PPR play. I don't know, man. I've been saying all week, I think it's a decent week to play Gabe Davis. You know? It's a decent week to play Gabe Davis. Should be a little bit of a shootout. Bills and Bengals. I think Pittman is still pretty safe, but I just don't want to start anyone in that Colts offense, you know? Dortch for floor, Gabe Davis for upside. Who do you like? Thomas, heading to my old work today, collect that third place money. Let's go, bro. We got you, Jonesy, of course. Tony, what's up? I have Curtis Samuel with Wentz playing the connection they both had at the beginning of the season. Could Samuel be the play over Sutton? I think Sutton's a floor play. It's a safe play. Good matchup for Sutton today. Broncos just playing for some pride. Playing to prove they don't hate Russell Wilson. Playing for their interim head coach. Whatever it is. Samuel brings the upside for sure. I mean, it's a must-win game for Curtis Samuel. So, I probably, you know, if you want to take the upside, I'd probably go Curtis Samuel. Carlos in PPR, I got McKinnon at running back, but I need one more between Pacheco or Knight. Pacheco's like the safe play. You know, I probably personally start Pacheco, but if you want some upside, go for Knight. Feels a little bit riskier, but I think it's okay. He's played his best with Mike White's quarterback. By the way, this stream's lagging. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if that's just on my end or what, but sorry, guys. We're just going to power through it. Richard Glass. How are you, man? Happy New Year to you, bro. Great to have you in the house. Great to see you, Richard. Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you. Hope you didn't get too crazy for New Year's, man. Bob France Fishing, what's up? Pick 4, Mike Williams, Mike Evans, Watson, Najee, J.K. London, Olave, Rashad, full PPR. I take Mike Williams. I'll take Najee. I think Najee is actually going to have a decent day. I'll take Drake London. Should be a good day for him. And then I want to take Christian Watson. But if Watson's not healthy, if Watson doesn't play, oh, you got to look at it. Gosh, what a headache. Okay, so here's what you do. If you're going to have a plan to play London or Watson, which means you go Mike Williams, Najee, and Rashad White or Mike Evans, whoever you're more confident in. You play Christian Watson if he's healthy. He's got an afternoon game. If not, you go Drake London. So, tough calls there. Lots of good players, Bob. Trust your gut there. Lots of good players. Elliot, the risk aversion versus upside decisions this week are crazier than I can remember. Yeah, I agree. J-Dub says he'll play Curtis Samuel over Sutton. Rock, for flex, do I risk Watson because I have Dobbs or Dobbins as backup or Hollywood? Yeah, you risk Watson for sure. It's worth it, especially since you have Dobbs. If Watson doesn't line up, I would just play Dobbs. This Vikings secondary is such a good matchup, guys. We really want to try and exploit that. All right, let's see. Wentz looks for him constantly. If I had McLaurin, I'd be concerned in regards to Curtis Samuel. Yeah, McLaurin still had success with Wentz at quarterback, but not a lot of upside. Like, safe floor plays, like, 11 to 15 points at best. But if he scores, then that conversation changes a bit. So I still like McLaurin today as a safe PPR play, but I do agree that the upside probably lies with Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel on the day. But it's a must-win game for Washington. I'm not very concerned about the Browns. But if the Browns keep it competitive, that's even better. Daniel with the $5 don't know. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the super chat, man. Emojis in the chat for you. Boom. Sutton, Dortch, or Chark. I go Chark personally, but they're all good options, Daniel. Waller, Jawan Johnson. I'm really worried about Darren Waller this week. Waller's one player that I don't feel good about. Like, Adams, I'll make an argument for. Jacobs, I'll say, I mean, he's done it all year. Cross your fingers he finds the end zone, but still a lot of risk. But, I mean, he's still your RB3. Like, can consider it. Waller, I don't feel good about at all. I would go Jawan Johnson. It's a tough matchup for both guys. But the Saints in a must-win game, man. I think they're going to do whatever they can to win this game. Dalton's got a great chemistry with Jawan Johnson. A really bad game last week for Johnson, but weather impact there. So I would risk Jawan Johnson. Sit one, Kamara, McKinnon, Stevenson. Or flex any one of the players I sit PPR Fantasy Bowl on the line. Who... I mean, yeah, you can play Kamara, McKinnon, and Stevenson if you're thinking about flexing one of the receivers. If you like that setup better, I think that's perfectly fine, even in full PPR. I mean, Kamara, McKinnon, Stevenson have had good enough years where you might just want to consider those three running backs. I mean, you play Sutton, you get a safe floor, probably about 12 points. You play Dortch, there's a bit of a question mark, but a good PPR day, probably in line. And then Chark, once again, like, I think Chark could have a really good day, but I just think he's a safe play. I don't know. I think that the upside mainly lies with Kamara, McKinnon, and Stevenson. If you want to roll with those guys, I don't have any problem with it. Chat, what would you guys do here? Let's help our boy Daniel out. At tight end, I say Jawan Johnson, but would you rather start the three running backs, Kamara, McKinnon, and flex Stevenson, or would you be playing two of the running backs and flexing one receiver, Sutton, Dortch, or Chark? Let's give Daniel some feedback here. At the end of the day, Daniel, like I've been telling everyone this week, it's championship week. Trust your own conviction. Trust your gut. Don't overthink it. You'll be all right, man. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you, man. All right. Pick 2, Evans, Watson, Dotson, Hodgins. I would play Christian Watson and Hodgins. Excuse me, Christian Watson and Dotson. The issue is if Watson doesn't play, you're kind of screwed. So, if you don't want to risk it for Christian Watson, I might take a chance on Mike Evans. But Hodgins is okay, too. You just got to ask yourself the question, like, what are you going to do if Watson doesn't play? Because I think Watson and Dotson are the best plays here. But, hey, Carolina's secondary is banged up. I don't love Mike Evans, but, you know, you never know. Hodgins been good, too. Aaron, here's the situation. Have PPR. I have Watson, London, Juju, Hollywood. Which two do I start? If Watson sits, my other receiver would be Dobbs. Okay, that's fine. You start Drake London, I think. Good matchup for him against the Cardinals. Meaningless game for both sides. Probably won't be a lot of defense. Yeah, you want to start Watson here. But if you can't, I say you go Dobbs. If you're not, I mean, it's just a great play. You know, must-win game for the Packers. Vikings trying to secure that #1 seed. And the Vikings secondary has been non-existent lately. So I like London and Dobbs. Or London and Watson. J-Dub showing some confidence in Hollywood. Should see the volume. Chooses Hollywood. I just really worry about Hollywood. Garner, second time we got Gardner Minshew or White. I think I lean White by a hair. But I like both. Both are really good streams. Both should be in good game scripts today. You know, you've got 4 teams involved here that are, you know, in the playoff hunt for seeding or on the playoff bubble. So, should be good game scripts here, man. But I think I lean White by a hair because in a world where the Eagles get up, which could still happen with Garner, a quarterback, and Andy Dalton make enough mistakes, they're going to start running the rock. You know, did not happen last week against the Cowboys. Opposite happened, but could happen this week theoretically. Anything could happen. Dom, Herbert or Jones? Jeez. Trust your gut here. Who do you like more? Who do you have more faith in? I might go Danny Dimes. Oh my gosh. I think Herbert's okay, but like, it's just been so tough the last 2 weeks. It's not the best matchup against the Rams. Is Waddle going to be reliable without Tua, or should I put in Watson or Hollywood? I think Waddle's fine. You know, Waddle had a very productive game. What week was that? Week 5 or 6? So Teddy Bridgewater was the starter in week 6 against Minnesota. Waddle had 16.9 points, 129 receiving yards in that game. I mean, different matchup today against New England, but I think Waddle will be okay. Must-win game for the Dolphins, yeah. Waddle's a guy that I've shown confidence in this week. I think he'll be okay, man. But if you want some upside, you can play Watson, but the problem is Watson might not play, and you're kind of screwed. I personally would play Waddle or Watson over Hollywood, for sure. Do you start any Chicago wide receiver over Hollywood half-point PPR? No, I don't think I would, personally. That's one where I'd stick with Hollywood. Alex, need 2 running backs, Pacheco, Knight, Monty, and flex and PPR. RB that wasn't picked, or Lockett, Shark. I go Pacheco and Monty. It's tough, right? In the flex. Chark brings a pretty safe floor and still some upside. Knight feels the riskiest, but still brings good upside. But Lockett also feels very risky because of the injury. But brings a lot of upside. I think that, I don't know. Hawks defense has been good. The Jets defense has been good. But I think by the end of this game, we do see some offensive points. I do think we see this turn pass heavy. And I think Lockett could be a huge beneficiary of that with Metcalf presumably seeing a lot of Sauce Gardner. I might risk Pacheco, Monty, and Lockett. Now, if you want to throw upside running back in over like Montgomery, then you go Knight. I think Pacheco's too safe to sit here. Knight has played his best with Mike White at quarterback, but still brings some risk because the last 2 weeks have been rough. But yeah, I think I might take the upside and go Lockett. If you don't like the injury, if that's concerning you, if you don't like the matchup, Chark is still safe. Must-win game for the Lions. So, Dom, I'm having a hard time with my QB situation with Herbert. I can start virtually any QB that's free agent right now, so not sure what to do. It depends on who's out there, Dom. But yeah, I mean, it depends on the league because there are leagues where Geno Smith and Danny Dimes are available. There are leagues where the best option is David Blau, you know. Yeah, it is a really tough call on Herbie, though. Tough call. I have to start in my double quarterback league today, but I don't have a choice. Because literally the best available quarterback there is David Blau and Jared Stidham. So, yeah, I'm rolling with Gardner Minshew with Hurts on my bench and Herbert. The Rams have been pretty good against opposing quarterbacks. Herbert's been struggling. It's not really a must-win game for the Chargers, but it can help their playoff seeding for them to face lower-seeded teams. In theory, depending on how the rest of the things shake out. It just depends, Dom. I don't know. When we look at streaming options, like if Mike White or Garner aren't available, I don't know if there's really options out there that I would elevate over Herbert, you know? Dom, Fournette or Jacobs, I would start Fournette. Ayuk or Judy, I would start Judy. Rich, Hodgins or Dobbs, I would start Dobbs as long as Watson's out. But obviously the Giants, they play at what, 1 o'clock? Yeah, so if you don't think Watson's going to play, you got to start Hodgins. More than likely. I mean, Dobbs could still be productive with Watson on the field, but Dobbs becomes a better play. Watson doesn't play. So, yep. Lucius with the $2 dono. Thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat, man. Happy New Year to you. Gano or Bass? Super chats. Excuse me, emojis in the chat for Lucius. I like Graham Gano. But I think both are perfect starts. You know, you got Tyler Bass in a game that there's going to be a lot of points, and every point's going to matter. This could be like the right type of game script. Like there are some games for the Bills where Tyler Bass like is just seeing the offense score a lot of touchdowns. He's kicking a lot of extra points. This could be the type of game script where he's needed to kick a lot of field goals too. So I like Bass. I would try not to overthink this. But Gano has just been fire lately. And it's a must-win game for the Giants. Gano's been so good, dude. I mean, Bass has been great, too. You know, Bass is your kicker number 5. Been playing at a little bit of a lower ceiling as of late, though. Where you've got Gano, on the other hand, who's been doing the opposite. He's your kicker number 8 in the last 2 weeks. He's got 12 or more points. You know. Gano's really safe in a dome. I go Gano, but it's close. It's close. If you haven't checked out Steven's must-start kickers for the week, I'll drop the link in a second here. And that might give you some further insight or some further confidence. But if I remember correctly, he has Gano pretty high up there. But he may have had Bass in there too. So, all right. Lucius, thank you so much for the dono. I'm going to keep rolling here before we run out of time. Cash Stylist, last question of the year. It makes me sad. McLaurin or B-Rob in the flex? Danny Dimes or Herbert? Appreciate your help every year. Always the go-to. We appreciate you, Cash Stylist. A1 Day 1. OG member of the Catch fam. Appreciate you. I go B-Rob. B-Rob's upside play. I'm starting B-Rob over DK Metcalf and Mike Williams in a league. I got a lot of confidence in B-Rob today. If he's healthy, This is a good game script for him. Must-win game. This is a good matchup. The Browns have been really bad against opposing running backs from a fantasy perspective. Yeah. And, you know, Gibson's banged up. I love B-Rob today. Way more upside than McLaurin. Danny Dimes or Herbert? Who would you guys start, chat? It's so tough. Danny Dimes got more on the line. The Giants got to win today. Keeping the playoff hunt. Ooh, it's close. Dimes is the upside play. Herbert's the floor play. Oh, it's gross. I guess I go Dimes. Brendan, should I consider starting Judy over Wilson, or would you stick with Wilson? You can definitely consider going Judy. Judy's got a good matchup. You know, once again, the Broncos are just playing for pride and to prove Russell Wilson isn't the Antichrist and to give their interim head coach some props. Last time the Broncos played the Chiefs, Judy had like 30 fantasy points. That probably won't happen again. I'll put it this way. It's a better matchup for Judy as opposed to Garrett Wilson. But Wilson has far more on the line. The Jets have far more on the line. And they're going to rely on their big-time players. So I do think Wilson's a safer play. But Judy definitely brings the upside. I mean, I had Judy in the must-start video. I definitely like him this week. So you can consider it. Trust your gut there, man. Andrew, what's up, man? Start 2, Algier, Williams, McKinnon. I think you stick with Mike Williams here, and I think you go with Jerick McKinnon. I like Algier a lot this week, but I think you stick with those two guys. Probably got you to this point. Probably more PPR upside out of them, too. Rob, Chark, Dotson, Ayuk. Which two to start in a standard league? Close, but I'll go Chark and Dotson. I'm not sure how much Ayuk is going to be needed today. Brian, full PPR. Knight, Hodgins, Olave. Hodgins and Olave in PPR. Baltimore or Philly are both smash plays. I'll go Philly, though. Lockett or Dotson? I'll go Dotson just because of the risk associated with Lockett, but I think both are fine. Should I be worried about CMC's workload? You know, this is an interesting question, Kyrie. This is like the first time I've heard this week because I've thought about it a little bit. You still start CMC. There's no way you don't start CMC. But, yeah, at the end of the day, like, I don't know how much CMC is going to be needed in this game. We could see some Jordan Mason involvement. So, it's a good question, but I don't think you got to start CMC. I don't think you worry too much here. You're welcome, Daniel. We got you. Sam, Mike Williams, Judy, or Olave. I stick with Mike Williams here, but Judy is upside play. Olave safe too. Minshew, Rodgers, or Brady. Oh gosh, Gio. I probably go Minshew. Rodgers has the best matchup, but like he had a good matchup last week and did like nothing with it. And I'm not trusting Brady ever again. I really thought Brady would be a good play last week, and I just can't do it. I go Minshew. Crazy. Slade, what's good, bro? Love playing in the ship in a $10 league instead of my 50, 100, 150 buy-ins. Whatever. Fun here. Let's go. What's up, Slade? Good to have you, bro. Everlast, what's up, man? Championship game. Mahomes, Allen, Godwin, Watson, Monty, Foreman, Gooder, Kirk, Cleveland. Have Kamara and Hubbard on bench. Would you put Kamara or Hubbard in place of either running back starters? Maybe Kamara over Foreman. It is a tough matchup for Foreman. You know, but Chuba and Foreman had success the last time they played Tampa Bay. They looked good last week against the Lions' run defense that before last week was playing really well. But yeah, Kamara, I mean, a tough matchup, but must-win game for the Saints. You can definitely consider Kamara here. That's my one note. What do you think? SJS, Juju, or Foreman. Like I said, I probably lean towards Foreman, but it's a really tough matchup. If you feel like Juju, if you're more confident in Juju, I think go with Juju. I mean, in standard, I'm going to gravitate towards the running back position, but like I just talked about, with Everlast, a really tough matchup for Foreman. And this game script gets behind the Panthers, they may not run the football, you know. Elliot, I've decided on sitting Ramondre and Adams for Knight and Chark. I'm not against it, man. you know? Trust your gut. Johnny going live tonight because I might need some therapy. It's possible, but probably not. Usually don't stream on Sunday nights, but it's possible. Can't be upset if you follow your conviction, man. Flex Lord, Chino, Deontay, Pittman, Jones, Olave, Hollywood, Dotson. Weekend wide receiver 2, so any help would be nice. Yeah, man, I play Dotson here. Dotson's been a player we've been harping on all week. Double digits the last 3 games he's been in. He's hurt for a little bit before that. Had the bye week recently too. But Dotson, you know, good chemistry with Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke. I go Dotson here, my guy. What do you think? Swift or Knight in full PPR? I mean, you're kind of... I see a really similar like outlook for both these players going into the week. Good matchups. Tough starts as of late. Inconsistent as of late. I probably lean with Knight. But I could see either player having a good day. It's close, Jacob. Who do you like more? Close, 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 close. Other quarterbacks can start over Herbert or Dimes, Rodgers, Brady. I mean, Danny Dimes the only one I consider there, Dom. I just don't trust the other two. So if you're out on Herbert, as always, follow your gut. My call would be Danny Dimes. But you got to make that decision based on your own conviction. You know, championship week. Big calls, man. Everlast, if Watson is no-go, do I play Olave, Curtis Samuel, Chark, or Richie James? Curtis Samuel, yeah. Most upside out of Curtis Samuel. Olave, probably the safest floor. DJ Chark, kind of somewhere in between where he brings some nice upside, but also pretty safe floor. Richie James, I like, but it's hard to get a read on the Giants receivers. Like, that's the problem. I like all 3 of James, Hodgins, and Slayton, but the volume really shifts on a weekly basis, so it's kind of a gamble, you know? I might go Curtis Samuel, though. Probably, for me, Samuel or Chark. Can't believe I'm so low on Olave, but don't know if I love him against the Eagles. Andrew, Happy New Year to you. Robinson or Algier? I'm sticking with Brian Robinson, but I love both. I think Robinson's going to have a big day. Jimbo, Minshew, or Lawrence? I would stick with T-Law. Stick with T-Law. But if you think the game script gets, you know, if Texas don't keep it competitive and you don't love Lawrence, Minshew's okay, but I think you stick with T-Law. Been too good lately. We got you, Cash. Thank you, thank you. Ryder Lives, what's up? Should I sit Devontae, no Carr versus the best defense, or risk it with Watson? Yeah, so we talked a little bit. Yeah, obviously it is hard because Watson, we don't know if Watson's playing. That's the issue, though. If Watson doesn't play and you're relying on him, it's not a good position. You're going to start, like, unless you have Romeo Doubs. Like, when we look at the afternoon games, you know, yeah, Packers play at 4:25, so you're going to have Rams, Chargers, Steelers, Ravens, Bills, Bengals. So probably not a lot out there on the waiver. Like, you don't want to go grab a Rams receiver. Maybe Josh Palmer on the Chargers. Romeo Doubs the best option. I mean, you could think about like KJ Osborne on the Vikings. I doubt like Gabe Davis is available, so it's just tough, man. You might have to go Adams. And we've talked a little bit about Adams. I think Adams would be okay, but not a lot of upside whatsoever. Cousins, Minshew, or Danny Dimes? I might stick with Cousins here. Really safe play. But they're all good streaming options, so I see a pretty similar floor and ceiling for those guys. I might just stick with Cousins as a safe play, though. Tough when you're looking at that range of quarterbacks to really call who's going to have the best day. Kels, Kansas City or Baltimore? I go Baltimore personally, but I think Kansas City's fine. SGS, Juju or Foreman? I might go Juju. We've had this question a couple times today. I might go Juju. But usually in standard, I'm going to gravitate towards a running back. I'm just a little concerned. If this game script gets behind the run game, we've seen it where Foreman just gets no touches. You know? So I might I might go Juju. But it's so tough in standard because he's like got to score, you know. C-Crip, what's up? Akers, Lenny Algier, Mike Williams need 2 running backs and a flex. You can't really go wrong here. You flex Mike Williams, in my opinion. I'd probably play Akers and Lenny, but I like all 3 running backs. I would just pick whichever 2 running backs you have the most confidence in. Harry, Cooper, Lazard, or DJ Moore? I'm out on Cooper for the week. Really worried about him. Lazard or DJ Moore for me. I like DJ Moore a lot this week. You know, Panthers can make the playoffs if they win today. It's going to be a competitive game. I go DJ Moore. But Lazard against the Vikings, a really safe play. Harry, Pacheco, Fournette, Monty, start 2. All are good starts here. I stick with Fournette. Good game script. He looked really good last week. Pacheco versus Monty. I just pick who you're more confident in. I might personally go Pacheco, but both are good starts. J-Dub's good, bad, or indifferent. It's been a fun season. It always is. It always is. Always a little bit of bad, a little bit of good, a little bit indifferent. Always fun. That's my new motto. Gob, what's up, bro? Appreciate the support, man. Says the catch is awesome. Thanks. It's the nicest thing I've heard today. I'm worried because Chargers playoffs already. What's your thoughts? Oh, Kenneth or Eckler? Stick with Eckler. Stick with Eckler. Technically, the Chargers can play for better playoff seeding today to play worse teams or lower seeded teams in the playoffs. So, stick with Eckler. You just can't. You can't bench Eckler in the championship. Please don't. Please. AJ Dillon or Pittman? Jonathan, I go Dillon. Dom, thanks for all the help this year. I started following this channel late, but I appreciate your hard work, man. Thanks, Dom. I appreciate you being part of the community. Appreciate the kind words, man. Means a lot. J-Dubs, hopefully Underdog fixes your account so we can have more playoffs, best balls, and weekends. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I'm restricted. They just are mad at me because I won $10,000, I think. I really don't know. Like, there's a limit, you know, set on every account. You can only deposit so much money. I've reached that limit. So I get that I can't deposit any more money. That's fair. But, like, I've won some money that I have in my account and I can't use it, you know. My account is completely restricted. I can't put through pick'ems or enter best ball. So, oh no. Elliot, thanks, John. Always appreciate open, thoughtful, fancy discussion. Y'all are great. Let's go get those chips. Time to sacrifice some green before kickoff. Good luck to all. Good luck to you, Elliot. We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you being part of the community this year, man. Good luck to you, my guy. Albert, what's up, bro? Ryder, Lazard, and Dobbs are both available as a fantasy championship, so I can't make bad picks. Try not to overthink it, but if both those guys are available, you can definitely consider them. Yeah, Adams is in a tough spot. Here's what you got to ask yourself, Ryder, if you want to start Adams. Niners still allowing the 6th most fantasy points to opposing receivers, but what you got to look at is how often are the Raiders going to be able to maintain drives today? What is Jared Stidham going to be able to do? How often do they turn the football over? What does the second half of this game look like? If the second half, you know, more than likely the Raiders are going to be playing from behind. Just naturally, Devontae Adams has to get that volume, you would think. But it could be really ugly out there, you know? So I do think in full PPR there's an argument to still go with Adams, but it's just tough. And if you don't feel good about it and you feel like you'd rather risk Watson, you know, if Watson plays, I think you're in a really good position. If he doesn't play, then you're in still a little bit of a lower tier. But if you can play Dobbs or Lazard, I still think you come out pretty good because this Vikings secondary is trash. Must-win game for the Packers. So, you know, there's my argument for both sides. Trust your gut, man. It's a tough call. Shane, Minshew or Watson? I go Minshew. I don't trust Watson. J-Dubs, I look forward to doing best ball drafts Friday in the offseason starting in April for sure, bro. For sure. Jacob. Zay Jones, Jacoby, Sutton, Dotson. I go Dotson. Go Dotson. J-Dubs, Jacoby for the Shinobi. I kind of like that. But I go Dotson. Kels, do you trust Fournette this week? I do for sure. for sure. Elliot, everyone trying to get to the top wild card in the AFC to get the South winner. Eckler loves fantasy. I agree. I think Eckler's fine today. Ryder, yeah, that's the thing. If you're going to play Adams, he plays at 4 or 5. You should know by then. Yeah, the Raiders play at 4 or 5, so you should know. You just have to pay attention. But it's too hard to say when the Packers come out and say, I would say probably around 3 o'clock. You should know. Would be my guess. Yeah, Kels, I trust Fournette. Johnny, Goff or Fields? Goff is the floor play. Fields is the upside. My opponent had Pollard in his lineup this Thursday, so that's good for you. You can kind of risk some upside. I might go Fields, but I think both are really good starts. I might go Fields, though. Michael! Happy New Year, man. Adams, DJ Moore, Dotson. All are great starts. We've had a lot of discussion about Adams today. Got to ask yourself the question, I don't know. The Niners giving up a fair amount of points to opposing receivers. This could be good for the second half of the game when the Raiders are forced to throw the football. But what do you really think Jarrett Stidham's going to be able to do? How often do you think the Raiders are going to be able to maintain football drives? It's just a really tough call. Really, really tough call. I think DJ Moore is extremely safe. A good matchup, good game script for him today. And I think Dotson brings a lot of upside in a good game script as well. So you have good options here. Trust your gut. Trust your gut, man. I do like DJ Moore and Dotson a lot this week, so I think you'll be okay regardless of what you do. I think Adams is an okay start, but not a lot of upside today. Gob, enjoy your New Year's Day. Looking forward for your content this coming year. Appreciate you, Gob. I can't believe the season's wrapping up, man. It's making me really sad internally, but we've got regular schedule next week, guys, for Week 18, because a lot of you guys play through Week 18. Well, not a lot of you, but some of you guys do. We've got plenty of content planned through the NFL playoffs. We still see a lot of me and Steven leading up to the Super Bowl. We've got some, like last year we did the NFL playoff challenge, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to try and get some best ball stuff going if I get my Underdog account to not be restricted. And we got a lot planned. And then I'll take a little bit of a break. But the break won't be too intense. Because I've got a pretty heavy off-season schedule that I'm really excited about. I'm really excited to hop into as well. So stay tuned. We got plenty of things coming your guys' way. Kells, Jacobs or McKinnon? I pick McKinnon. Matt, Lockett or Devonta Smith? I go Devonta Smith for sure. I do not bench Devonta Smith ever again in my lifetime. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who he plays. I want Smith in my lineup for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's stream. About 1 o'clock here, so Week 17 is going to kick off. Hodgins or Hollywood? Ooh. You know, the question you got to ask yourself is Hollywood is going to face up against AJ Terrell. I don't love Hollywood this week. It's really tough to call the Giants' volume at the receiver position on a weekly basis. You got Richie James, Slayton, and Hodgins. The Colts have been pretty good against opposing receivers. Hodgins is the upside play. Hollywood Brown is the floor play. But I just don't know what we're going to get out of Hollywood with David Blau throwing the football and him going up against AJ Terrell. Been a couple of you guys in the chat who like Hollywood due to the volume. I think that's okay. Once again, Hollywood's the floor play. If you want to risk it, get a little bit more upside, you go Hodgins. I'm not a big fan of Hollywood personally, but there have been enough of you guys in the chat showing support that I think Hollywood is okay. So, upside play Hodgins, floor play is Hollywood. Godfather, been a fun season. Looking forward to more, of course, bro. I'm glad we had you along for the ride this year. Appreciate all your support, man. Been a great member of the community to have. So, this is just a small blip in the timeline, right? Going to be plenty more of seasons coming for you guys. Ryder, KJ Osborne's available. I also have Hawkinson. I'm playing against JJ. I would start one of the Packers receivers. I would go with Dobbs or Lazard if you can't play Watson. Rodgers over Geno. I don't love Geno this week, but Rodgers been too hard to trust. I'd probably stick with Geno. Tough matchup for Geno, but like Rodgers had a great matchup last week, did nothing with it. So, Ryder, I think if Watson plays, he's good to go. I don't think they're going to play him if he's hindered. But even if he is, like, the Vikings secondary has been giving up a lot of points to opposing receivers. So, yeah, I do agree that starting Osborne would feel weird if you have Hawk out there and going up against JJ, you know. But you never know. If Watson doesn't play, who's your go-to out of Lazard and Dobbs? Lazard is the floor play. Dobbs is the upside play. So, the safer play, Lazard. The upside lies with Dobbs. Bobby, I'm starting Greg the Human Torch Dorch, baby. Let's go. All right, guys, hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you tuned in and you're new to the channel. Check out all the links down below. Join us on Discord. Follow us on Instagram. I appreciate you guys, man. Happy New Year to all you guys. Happy 2023. I hope you guys have a great year. I appreciate all your guys' support. This past season was a phenomenal year for the channel. Phenomenal year for the community. And I just appreciate you guys, man. I really, really do. Appreciate everything that you guys do for the community, for the channel. Much love to you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. So thankful to have the space to come hang out and talk fantasy with you guys, to play Madden with you guys, to mock draft with you guys, to play in Underdog tournaments, to just everything that we do together, man. I really appreciate you guys. Can't say it enough. And Happy New Year's to you guys. You guys deserve it. And just seriously, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for everything that you guys did for the channel this past year. A huge year for the channel in terms of growth. And, you know, only up from here. The grind continues. You know, I'm super happy with all the momentum and growth we had this year and everything. But I'm still not happy, you know. I still got a lot more that I want to accomplish out of this. So, yeah, I'm going to keep grinding. So, appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys. Happy New Year's to you guys. And good luck to you guys in Week 17 and Championship Week. And I'll talk to you guys either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. So, Ryder, Happy New Year, man. Godfather, good luck to you, bro. Appreciate you guys coming out today. Appreciate all the fantasy questions. Appreciate you guys keeping the fantasy conversation going in the chat and helping each other out. Good luck to you guys. Happy New Year. Love you guys. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch.